An accident or any unfortunate event leading to the loss of limbs doesn't have to mean an end of mobility thanks to the invention of prosthetics. Prosthetics involves the use of artificial limbs to enhance the function and lifestyle of persons with limb loss. For a long time, a lot of people of African descent, especially those resident in sub-Saharan Africa, had to make do with limbs of a different color. But that has changed now, and we will tell you that story on this episode of Special Report. You're welcome. I'm Ini John Mekwa. John Amanam, a 33-year-old sculptor and former movie special effects artist, has chosen to settle in his state of origin, Akwa Ibom State, in South Nigeria. He blazed all out 3 years ago to become the first African to design and produce hyper-elastic black prosthetics. He's an answer to the prayers of the over 2,000 persons who were involved in road crashes in the second quarter of 2020 alone. Apart from road crashes, accidents, which are a common feature of human experience and unexpected events, typically sudden in nature, are associated with injury, damage, loss or harm. With the loss of parts of the body owing to accident, hope comes with specialists within the field of healthcare technology concerned with the design, manufacture, and application and replacement of lost parts of the body with an artificial one. Prosthetics is an externally applied device used to replace wholly or in part an absent or deficient limb segment to allow for that part of the body to work better. This artificial replacement of a part of the body, which could be a tooth, a facial bone, palate or joint, has come to stay to the relief of many who would have otherwise become incapacitated.
I'm a microtia patient. I was born with a microtia. A microtia is a condition of one of your ears being deformed from birth. So I met him and he took measurement of the well-formed ear and he used it to make another ear for me. I've been so comfortable when I started using my prosthetics. I can't get it off me. I can't get it off me because it gives me the confidence. Like I can walk on the streets and breeze will blow my ears and I will not struggle to, cover it. I'll just leave it like that because I have 2 ears. So I've been so confident and like I say, when I put on my prosthetics, I will not be harassed by why you know with your face mask, why not with your face mask. So if I put on my prosthetics, I put on my face mask and I'm so comfortable wherever I am.
A prosthesis may be removable, as in the case of prosthetic legs, while other forms such as artificial hips or teeth are permanently implanted. To enhance the function and lifestyle of persons with limb loss, the prosthesis may be a unique combination of appropriate materials, alignment, design, construction to match the functional needs of the individual. These needs are complex and vary for upper and lower extremities. Prosthetics originated from the ancient Egypt near East circa in 3000 BCE, with the earliest evidence of prosthetics appearing in ancient Egypt and Iran. In Nigeria, the field is fast developing, and John Amanam, who has made his name in the field, is always busy. A meeting with him reveals the benefit of passionately working to solve a relative's problem. It's now turned a lucrative profession.
I am the first Nigerian to produce hyper-realistic prosthesis, and I have a patent on that, and also the first African to also produce hyper-realistic prosthesis. It's on record, and we have gone beyond just me, because it's when we began, or when I began, I just wanted to solve just one person's problem, which was my brother's problem or my family member's problem. But after solving that, I discovered that it was a large market. It was a problem that cuts across Africa, not just Nigeria, because we have clients from different parts of the world. You now have to ask yourself, how come someone from Germany is ordering for prostheses from Nigeria? It shows you that the problem is a general problem. Even in Germany, it is difficult to achieve the black skin tone. It's a very difficult technique, achieving a black man's skin. The whites also have the same problem. That is why it is like that. So we have been able to solve this need, and not just only solve that need, we have been able to gain a name for ourselves.
Until recently, amputees of color around the world had to live with a limb or body part of a color different from theirs, as the international prosthetics market did not give much attention to them. Fortunately, that has now changed as a result of the ingenuity of John Amanam.
By the reason of time, we've had clients from different parts of the world, which are basically blacks, I would say. Especially I deal with black people, like Africans and people of melanated people with dark skin. So we've had clients from all over the world, from UK, from Germany, different parts in Africa, and in Africa also we have Congo, most African countries, almost all of the African countries I know, basically coming to us either for inquiries or to get our products, or sometimes they have to come over to Nigeria to get their needs solved. The black skin, or the quest to solve this need for the blacks began when I discovered that basically what the works we have, the processes we have, which are obtainable at the market before I ventured into this, were basically white skin. They were particularly made for the whites, like for people of the white skin. So I took it upon myself to research on this and to make sure these things become available for Africans, also for people who have black skin tones. As a result of the missing space, there's the gap. That need was not attended to, so I had to go into that as a specialty. And also this came up as a result of when my brother had the challenge, or a family member had the challenge, he tried ordering for prosthesis, and what we got was basically a white skin. He wasn't comfortable with it. It was something that was off your skin. It looked very different from what he had, so I saw it as a need. When I finished solving that need, I discovered it was a very big problem, and that's how I further continued in the production of black skin prosthesis.
His work spans to prosthetics, hands, legs, fingers, toes, ears, and noses. He also speaks about his experience, people's perception of his work, and his challenges.
People are excited, people appreciate. For some people, it's something strange. We have different kinds of people. We have different categories of people. We have people who doubt what we are doing. If you go to social media, you see people coming like, we are ritualists, and the rest of them. You also find comments like, wow, I've been expecting, I wanted to travel to Germany for this, and thank God, finally my prayer has been answered. You have different categories of people. Some people say, why should be checked? Some people say, we have different comments. So the response is alarming. It's also encouraging. It's also scary as well. Sometimes you just have to ignore certain response and just keep moving, because this is not where we intend to end. So we have to continue with our research, continue with our work. We have to keep progressing, keep improving. So we don't really care about how people feel. All we care about is how we can satisfy our clients and satisfy this need, which we have come to accept as what we want to do.
He promises that using his products have no side effects.
It's a prosthetic finger. That's what we call it. It's for an amputee, someone who lost some part of the finger. So what happens there is the client will fix the area into the finger, and it functions just like the normal finger. It's fleshy. It's just like the human flesh. It's fleshy. It has some form of elasticity. Can expand. So it gives room for adjustments, and it grabs the human skin. It's also waterproof. You can put it inside water and it doesn't have any problem. It's flexible. It's also, to some extent, heat resistant. So it's just similar to the human skin. It has several similarities. So once you use it, it's hard for someone to know you're using an artificial human part or a human form. It's medically graded. It doesn't have any skin irritation, no side effects at all. These are all medically approved materials.
I don't think there are a lot of disadvantages in using these prosthetics. I won't say that, even though it's a near nature something, it's a 90% nature product. So at least you have to meet some challenges, like you can't use it under the rain. You can't use it to bed. If I put it on to bed, since it's not off, I use a waterproofed and cover it before I take my bath, and you can't sweat under it. Okay, not even heavy. As you can see, it's very easy to attach, so you have to be very careful. That's why I said, if you're not a careful person, don't even think of using prosthetics, because you will have to look at the alignments. You understand? That's how you fix it. It's this way, off the original one. So since I have mastered it, because I've been using it for some time now, I just know how to put it. Okay. It's if you can see, it's on the same alignment, and it's the same here. Okay. And if you look at it, so unless I tell you that I'm using prosthetics, you will not know. You will not know. It's the same skin tone, the size, the shape. You know, we have different sizes and shapes of ears and parts of our body. So Mr. Amanam has been able to make out the same shape, the same size, and the same skin color to match everything, and it's 99% of the natural one. After the processing, you need to purchase the gun. You have to purchase a gun, and you put it on, keep it to be dried. When it's dry, you now put it on, and you have to walk majestically. It's not just to get the prosthetics. It's not just about getting it. It's about managing it. So when I mean managing it, you don't, like I said, prosthetics need a very careful person. Because there's how you handle it, you tear it. You tear it, though it's like a cartilage. It's like a cartilage. If you break it, if you handle it roughly, it might not be what it was at the first instance.
Over the years, the business has grown From a personal venture to a registered company, Immortal Cosmetic Arts, with 7 staff members and training with the aim of helping young people in the production of prosthetics. He has moved from making ordinary limbs to adjustable limbs and has even bigger plans for the future.
We are coming up as a company. Initially it was John Amanam, it was just I. But over time I discovered that the workforce, the demand and everything was not a one-man stuff. So we have moved from being just John Amanam to Immortal Cosmetic Art as a company. I won't say we are okay or we are satisfied with the level of materials we have, but I would say we've made the step, we are moving. We are not all that equipped, but we are fine with what we have. While we are hoping for the better days ahead, we are expecting our capacity to be increased or to increase over time as a result of the inflow of both clients and resources.
His work has been a source of blessing to many of his clients.
I cannot use my face masks unless I put on my prosthetics. It was interesting. I tried to come in contact with him, and luckily we chatted privately and he gave me his phone number. I called him and he said he was in Rio. I said, wow, why in Rio? I'm in Rio, okay, let's meet. So we met, he saw my condition and we talked about it and he worked towards it.
Our products are, I won't say affordable, but quite affordable, because what we give out is half or more than half of what is obtainable outside there. The prices my company gives is half, if not more than half of. Let's, for instance, they say we have a finger sold at $10,000, for instance, outside the country or outside Africa. Meanwhile, what we have here could be $5,000 or less. So the aim is to make these things affordable, and we also plan to make it more affordable once we are able to have certain facilities and certain stuff that will enhance our work and give us the access to all the materials we need.
Amanam's success story is an example of turning one's challenges to opportunities.
We've come up with technologies like, currently we have palms that are adjustable. Initially we produced just palms and other forms. We have palms that are adjustable. We produce other stuff like breast forms and different things. So we are moving and we are still on the research. We hope to have also bionics in the future that can work with the human, the nerves and the rest of the systems, the human system, the other human systems. So we are progressing and we hope to have other affiliates, because we have other Africans who are standing, who have different technologies that will come in together and will make this whole dream a bigger one.
In developing the prosthetics field, issues of personnel and proper training comes in, especially in the face of inadequate facilities and seemingly lack of government attention.
My challenges at the time is more of time for myself, more time. The production of prostheses is one that is very complex, very tedious, and very energy consuming, because it has to do with scrutiny, it has to do with carefulness, it has to do with detail. So in the process of production, we demand a lot of time, and I have to train people. And as well, train myself. Since I'm self-trained, I have to train people and also do my research. So carrying out this training and also doing the research, because we have to progress, as I earlier said, has been the one of the basic challenges I had. Initially, I had a serious financial challenge. There were times when I needed support from the government. There were times when I needed support from individuals, but there were few people who showed interest, and I came to understand that I just needed to push. I won't say I'm okay, I'm perfect financially, but at the moment I am fine. I think I'm okay. If someone wants to partner, he can contribute, but I am fine. I have certain things I needed at the moment.
Mr. Amanam counts some of the challenges in the field and says that while his colleagues have moved up to rapid prototyping and 3D printing, in Nigeria work is still done with the most remote methods of fabrication. Patients seldom afford carbon foot or carbon fiber pylons because the government doesn't make provision for some of these less privileged persons or low-income earners. He buttresses on the awareness of limb replacement in Nigeria that is so low, and hence there are so many disabled persons suffering because of the lack of knowledge.
This is the skin. It's the skin. The leg goes inside there, the artificial frame goes inside there, and once you put it on and it sets, no one knows that you had an amputation.
I noticed that even the nails look real.
Yes.
The nails there look real.
Yeah, it's part of our work. We have to, since it's hyper-realism, you have to achieve that closeness. It may not be 100% like the human skin, but at least 85 to 90%. So what we try to achieve is taking away that discomfort from amputees, because once something is off what you have on the real human form, the client or the patient may feel uncomfortable. He or she may feel that discomfort, or may lose confidence. So once we can achieve this hyper-realism, it boosts the confidence of our clients and our patients. So they now feel comfortable, they now feel unnoticed in the society.
Limitation also comes in the non-involvement of the government to make provision for prosthetics in the healthcare budget, especially in these times of herdsmen attack and Boko Haram, as it would have gone a long way to restoring hope. He speaks on some of the challenges, which include the rate of quackery, which is higher than professionalism. He says that the poor quality services provided by quacks most of the time injure the patient. For instance, a diabetic amputee could have his or her leg amputated over and over again because of the infection caused by injuries gotten from the poor prosthetics device. Sometimes this could cause another health challenge for the patient. One difference between professionals and quacks is that professionals make a general, full assessment of the patient before offering the appropriate prosthetic device to avoid complications, while quacks just go ahead to model up devices and give to the patient.
Each of the work we have is not on the shelf option, is off the shelf option. So what we do is customize. You have a particular need, we study your case, we produce what will suit your case, and then we deliver it to you. So for fingers, we have fingers ranging from 3 weeks to a month. Not because we are delaying, but we have a lot of clients, so we have to, since it's something that is requires detail, you have to take time, and some of these materials take long, have a period to set before we can give it to someone to use.
Most of the prosthetic components used to build prosthetics for amputees here in Nigeria are imported, and because of the high exchange rate, patients tend to pay more to secure good and quality prostheses.
The cost of importation, the time frame, and the availability of certain materials, because there are materials like we use that cannot be shipped, that cannot be sent through flights. Some sensitive materials, you have to ship them. Sometimes these things may take like a month or two to arrive because they are very sensitive materials. So we are working on that actually to we've started having companies who have come up and are ready to push these materials to us at a more accessible format.
There's also the lack of awareness facing the industry. A lot of Nigerians seem not to be aware of the fact that professional prosthetic services are offered in the country. There's also no national data on the exact number of amputees in Nigeria. Any figure given is based on estimate. In the face of these challenges, there seems to be a high number of amputees in Nigeria who do not use prosthetic devices. Due to the high number of amputees in Nigeria, with the ration of those who can pay for prosthetics, Companies and affluent individuals should also play a part in funding the cost. Mr. Amanam calls on private organizations, philanthropists and individuals to partner with him to make prosthetics affordable and available to users in order to make the country among the top in delivery of prosthetic care and services. Well, that's it for this episode of the program. Let's do this again next week. I'm Ini John Mekwa.